Until now, Niger has been processing only a limited amount of crude oil, despite having billions of barrels of oil reserves. Therefore, despite having oil, it had to import oil. That's because foreign companies, like China's National Petroleum Corporation, were given permits to explore and process oil. It was a good deal. However, Niger's leader has not decided to be totally independent in oil production. He thought that Niger should use its vast oil reserves and explore, process, and produce its own oil for the country's needs. For that, the state-owned oil company, Sonadep, has been tasked to initiate exploration operations. And experts believe that the company will discover tens of new oil fields within no time. But how will that work, and will Niger be producing its own oil and even exporting it like a major oil producer like Nigeria and Russia? Let's find out. Sonadep, Niger's state-owned oil and gas company, has officially started its oil exploration and production activities, marking a significant milestone for Niger's energy industry. Previously, Sonadep mainly focused on marketing petroleum products only. This expansion signifies a new chapter for both the company and the country, offering substantial opportunities for economic growth and energy independence. At a ceremony in Hadara, in the Diffa region, Niger's Prime Minister Ali Mohamed Lamine Zeine announced this initiative, highlighting its importance for the nation. He officially said that Niger has decided to produce its own oil to ensure its economic sovereignty and maximize the benefits for its people. It was quite ironic that Niger had oil reserves of billions of barrels, apart from those that nobody knows existed. That's because attention was not paid to oil exploration and mining. Therefore, despite this, Niger imported oil worth $49.3 million in 2022, mainly from Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, India, United Arab Emirates, and Russia. Interestingly, India sold oil by importing from Russia. This required a policy shift. And now, the production sharing contracts recently adopted by the Nigerian government cover oil blocks in Bilma and Agadem. Though these areas are relatively small, they have significant potential. The proven reserves in the Bilma blocks, in particular, could lead to major future developments. That's because, since 2011, the China National Petroleum Corporation has been operating oil wells in the Agadem region. In other words, Niger's junta has chosen this region because it already knows there is oil there. All it has to do is to start an exploration project, and tens of oil fields will be immediately discovered. That's quite a genius strategy to start self-sufficiency. Developing Sonadep as a key player in oil exploration is a crucial step for Niger. This initiative could enhance the country's energy security and provide significant long-term economic benefits. Diversifying partners and reducing dependence on imported petroleum products are central goals for Niger. Sonadep plays a vital role in this strategy by exploring new reserves and increasing domestic production capacity. The launch of Sonadep's exploration and production activities represents a major advancement for Niger's energy industry. This initiative has the potential to transform the country's economy, strengthen its energy independence, and bring tangible benefits to the Nigerian population. This will be directly done by saving foreign reserves that were earlier spent on oil imports, in addition to earning vast foreign reserves by exporting oil. The $5 billion worth Niger-Benin pipeline can literally change the fate of Niger if more oil fields are discovered for continuous oil supply to Benin, after which the oil can be exported to the rest of the world. But how many new oil fields are we talking about? On March 2nd, the Council of Ministers, led by General Abdurrahman Tiani, approved production sharing contracts between the state of Niger and Sonadep. These contracts cover one oil block in Bilma, northeast Agadez region, and 3 others in Agadem, east of Diffa region. Interestingly, the Agadem region has had oil wells operated by the China National Petroleum Corporation since 2011. Since 2011, Niger has been refining approximately 20,000 barrels of oil per day, mainly diesel and gasoline, in Zinder. The country's official proven reserves are estimated to be around 2 billion barrels. However, a diplomatic dispute with Benin had disrupted Niger's oil exports, which has now been resolved. For Niger, this pipeline is quite important because it's the only route it can export oil to the world, because Niger is a landlocked country it needs access to a port, and Benin offers this. That's why the Niger-Benin pipeline, which is 2,000 kilometers in length, is intended to transport crude oil from Agadem to the Beninese port of Semi-Kwadji. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video, and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Africa's geopolitics, economy, and changing landscape. Let's continue now. But will we be seeing any change in export plans? Well, earlier, Niger did not think like an oil exporter because it was oil-dependent itself. But now, things have changed a lot. Earlier, it was exporting oil mainly to China through the Niger-Benin pipeline, in which China assisted. This pipeline was blocked by Benin after the coup in Niger. However, after China got itself involved, Benin allowed the oil to be exported to China. But Niger no longer wants to export oil only to China. Therefore, Niger has recently made a strategic move to stop its oil exports to China. This decision, announced by Niger's oil minister, Mohamed Mustafa Bako, was implemented with an abrupt closure of a section of the 2,000-kilometer pipeline connecting the Agadem oil fields to the Benin coast. The origins of this tension can be traced again to deteriorating relations between Niger and Benin, exacerbated when Benin blocked crude oil shipments from Niger through its port in May. Even though China resolved the matter, it surfaced again. Benin's demands included reopening Niger's border for its goods and normalizing bilateral relations, which Niamey viewed as excessive pressure, particularly given regional instability. Later this month, tensions escalated further when Beninese authorities arrested 5 Nigerian nationals at the Semi-Kwadji terminal. They were accused of illegal entry, but were purportedly there to oversee oil loading under an agreement between the two nations, as claimed by Niger. In a televised address to the nation, Minister Bako justified the suspension of exports, stating, "We cannot allow our oil to be taken by others when we are not present during loading." This statement underscores Niger's frustration and its commitment to safeguarding its resources. The current discord stems from the July 2023 coup in Niger, which prompted the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to impose strict sanctions for over 6 months. While these sanctions have recently been lifted, Niger continues to keep its borders closed to Beninese goods, disrupting regional trade. The suspension of Niger's oil exports to China via Benin could have significant implications for the regional oil market. The pipeline, essential for these exports, represents a critical investment for Niger, a landlocked nation heavily reliant on natural resources to support its economy. This situation also complicates trade relations between Niger and Benin, two countries with closely intertwined economies. Prolonged tensions could lead to enduring disruptions in the region's energy sector, impacting not only exports but also future investments. But why is Niger suspending oil exports when it's highly dependent on it? You see, Niger needs the Niger-Benin pipeline for nearly all exports. However, it has itself suspended exports using this pipeline, which experts believe is a major policy shift in the country's oil exports. To trade with the world, Niger needs access to Benin's port, but exacerbating tensions with Benin means Niger does not want access at all. That's quite confusing to understand. However, this makes sense if one thinks that Niger wants to export oil to its major allies, which are Burkina Faso and Mali, also landlocked. They are highly dependent on oil imports, and Niger might be thinking of fulfilling their needs by exporting oil directly to them. This becomes a possibility because these 3 countries share borders and a free oil trade among themselves is quite easy. As of now, there is no official news about with whom Niger will be trading. It's because Niger's oil exploration is in the initial stages, and the government does not want to do long-term agreements based on this tentative analysis. However, one thing is certain. Niger will be exploring and mining its own oil, increasing production and overall exports. What do you think? Should Niger explore and produce its own oil, or should it just get royalties from China's National Petroleum Corporation? Isn't it ironic that Niger had oil reserves of billions of barrels and still it imported oil from other countries? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on how Niger should monetize its oil fields. Should it export oil exclusively to its allies like Burkina Faso and Mali? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: African politics, economy, and increasing power. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Tell us what you think in the comment section. Like and share the video, and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our African videos. It's the best way to support us.